Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button, and then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ding your bell, and make sure your settings are changed to all. That way YouTube should notify you each and every time I upload a video. But if you would like to support myself and this channel just a little bit more, you can always go across to buymeacoffee.com/beyondauthentic, where you can in fact buy me a coffee. Thanks so much for those of you choosing to support me. We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God! We have a super strong connection. If you haven't been here before, how does the tarot work on this channel? Well, you've got to be a subscriber is the first thing. You've also got to be 18 years of age or over, and I do remind people that you do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot is only meant to be used for entertainment purposes only. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you are looking for support in those areas, as always, I would recommend you seek out a professional in those areas. With all of that being said, I am available for doing tarot readings, and if you are wanting a reading here, bear in mind it will be online, and basically once we put something out on the interwebs, it's going to be on the interwebs forever. And basically what that means is I may delete this channel in 5 years' time. I could take down all of these videos, but once it's been streamed live, there will be a recording somewhere, whether that's on the Wayback Machine or other devices like that, other sites like that. And basically you will potentially, somebody will be able to find your reading. So if you prefer private reading, if you don't want your business discussed publicly, then you can go across here to fiverr.com/beyondauthentic. The I in authentic is a 1. Just have a look there, and you can book a 3, 6 or 10 card reading over there if you would like to. Every blooming time. Hi, welcome to today's live stream. That was me on a previous stream. This is me live. Hello, good evening, welcome. Let me just sort the camera level out. It's a little bit high, but there we go. Oops. There we go. Hopefully that's going to stay in position. It keeps moving by itself. Hopefully that's going to stay in position tonight. First of all, I've got to say thank you ever so much for those of you from... Why do you keep moving? Oh, that's so bad. Right. And look, now you can see the top of the laptop. Right, hang on. This was fine earlier, and then it keeps moving. Flaming heck. Right, that way, and then there. Right. That's fine. That's fine. We're not going to touch it now. Thank you so much to those of you from the Coffee Club crew who joined me getting ready today. I think, I mean, it doesn't look like I've got any mascara on, and you saw that I did put it on, even though it's crap. But I think I've got a face on that I'm okay streaming on, if that makes sense, which I didn't think I would have 5-10 minutes ago. But anyway, thank you for those of you joining me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Coffee Club crew is our channel membership. My necklace is caught. And you can join that by going across to buymeacoffee.com/beyondauthentic, where you can join, or if you just want to support the channel, you can go over there and just buy me a coffee. Good evening to everybody here. We've got loads of people watching already. There's 13 in the live chat tonight. We've got Ed. Good evening to Ed. He's one of our moderators. Nanette's here. Ananya Carola's here. Raghu Pachori's here. Hello. Chan's Juicy Tarot, I owe you a reading. Candy Cat Jules is here. Hello. Ed's saying already, look, if you would like a question, you've got to start with the word question. Absolutely. Patricia's here. Chan's Juicy Tarot, I will get your reading added to the list. Little Miss Budget is here. Hello, everyone, says Ness. I've got your question in. There you go. Should be on in half an hour, Neil. No worries. I've got that in. You already spoke to me about that, so no problem there. You're going to go and get something to eat and be right back. Okay, Nanette, my darling. Wolf Boyo's here. Hello, Wolf Boyo. Your puppy's doing well from his neuter op. Oh, he came home, stole the rest of your McDonald's burger you forgot to put in the bin, threw his toys around, then had 1 hour of zoominess at the early hours of the morning. Oh, bless. Bless. Oh, I'm glad he's okay. Will you get married 2 times, or will you face an extramarital affair in life? Oh, interesting question. We'll have a look. I've got loads of questions coming in now. There we go. So I've got your one in. Ananya, I've got your question in. Crystal Palace, Crystal Pickett. I've got Crystal Palace, Crystal Pickett. I've got yours in. Oh, thank you, Crystal Pickett. We try. Yeah, glad he's feeling better. Patricia, yeah, he was extremely tired. Oh, bless. Yes, I will do, Crystal Pickett. Yes, you're in. Your question is in. I will make sure we get to you. No problem at all. Don't forget, everybody, once you've asked a question here, you do need to stick around so that we can actually get to your questions. That's an important thing. So you have to stick around. Otherwise, if you disappear off and I call your name, if you then come back, once I've called you, unfortunately, that is it. We give you 3 calls and then that's it. So you've got to stick around if you want your reading. If you disappear off, then unfortunately, you will forfeit your place in the queue tonight, and you'll have to join us on one of the other streams. So I do stream now 3 days a week. Each and every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. UK time, Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. UK time, and at the moment, Thursday afternoon at midday UK time, GMT. So have a look at what that means for your area, and keep a little note of it. The easiest way to get told about all of that is to click your be a subscriber and click your bell button. Ding your bell. That is the easiest way. Ding your bell. That way YouTube should notify you each and every time I upload a video on the channel. Right, a little bit of housekeeping. So we should have, I'm just double checking on the YouTube back end, but we should have slow mode on, which basically means that you can only post once every 20 seconds, and we should have subscriber mode on, which does mean you do have to be a subscriber to this very channel in order to ask a question. It's just a way of us keeping the chat nice and clean and safe for absolutely everybody. By the way, whilst I'm giving you all of the housekeeping, if you could, please do go across and do me a huge favor and hit that thumbs up button. Go and do it now while you're thinking about it. Hit that thumbs up. Let's have a like spike. Like spike. And if we get a like spike, I don't know what we'll do. What will we do if we get a like spike? What can we do? We'll play you. So, oh, I know. If we get a like spike, we'll be glorious. Yay! Glorious like spike. That's what we want. Hit that like button. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Thumbs, thumbs, thumbs up. Do it now. Yay! WWE coming through on the tarot. I know, right? I have new sounds on my soundboard today. Lots of them are very, very nerdy, I do have to say. So things like
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
hailing frequencies open, Captain. Oh, hang on. Pretend this isn't moisturizer. Pretend this isn't like hailing frequencies open, Captain. Yeah, that. Anyway, so there's all sorts of sounds that we're going to be playing with tonight as well. Holland's here. Hang on. I haven't seen Holland yet. Yay, Holland's here. Candy Cat Jules, Elijah on. Hand pink waving is what it comes up, Holland. I don't know why it does, but yay. Holland is here. Don't forget, go and have a look on Holland's Etsy, which is Blue Chalice. Just look for Blue Chalice as a creator in that their thing, in that their doodah, in that they're on Etsy. That's the word I'm looking for. Yes. I might have had a couple of coffees before I came on, and I've just drunk a coffee, and I've just eaten some lovely pineapple fingers that Rufus brought me in. So that's why I had to play all that gubbins to the beginning, partly because YouTube's notifications were going out, and there's always like a minute or two delay. So if you're watching this on the replay crew and wonder why the first 2 minutes of this channel, of all of these live streams, is a bit weird, it's because for the first couple of minutes we're waiting for the notifications to go out. So yeah, so Wolfboy says you'll send pictures of Tufty and Fluffy? Tufty and Fluffy? I can't call them that. I'm a hard-nosed liminal witch, for God's sake. Tufty and Fluffy. I'll have to rename them instantly. But no, maybe. Always make time for snacking. Exactly. Especially because pineapple fingers on Slimming World are free of sins. You learn from Hop. Ah, there you are, you see. Look, that's why you wanted your laptop back. You've got a document on your tablet where you can copy and paste. That is phenomenal. Anyway, I have rung the bell. I have sprayed my smudge spray, which will be back. I don't know what's going to happen with the online shop. In all honesty, I've not heard from Kirsty for a while, so it may well just be a Beyond Authentic Witchcraft shop moving forward. But my smudge spray will be back available again soon. I have made some more, so yes, it will be back available soon. I don't quite know how or where, but it will be available very soon again. And so yeah, I have smudged the room, I have rung the bell, we've done a quick little hello to the dragons whilst all that 2-minute thing was playing. So yes, if you don't know what I'm talking about, on this channel I use elemental energy to work with the tarot cards. That elemental energy basically appears in the form of dragons. I haven't gone insane. The dragons are elemental energies. So we've got different sounds for the different dragons. We've got 5 dragons. We've got an earth dragon. We've got Wispy, our air dragon. He's the one who normally comes in on the tarot streams. Scarlet is a fire dragon, and Scarlet deals with a lot of love, lust, sort of passion energy, if you like. Enough of that, thank you. Laguna is our water dragon. They are unique in going with the flow of things. That's Laguna. And then we've got this sound for the one that we call Rocky, who was the first dragon, who is like the ultimate base of all magic, but it's a bit Tinkerbell, so maybe that's not right. Yeah, Holland, at some point the shop's coming back this year. I'm starting to make products again. I don't quite know how or where or when or who, but it will be coming back this year, providing that the cancer doesn't come back this year. That's the proviso. And then hopefully next year I'll be doing the psychic circuit again. Blissful, good evening. Hello, welcome. I hope you are very well. I love your name. Right then, everybody, it is 1:15. It is time to crack on with some tarot readings. So the first cab off the rank is going to be Chan's Juicy Tarot. Chan's Juicy Tarot, if you're here in the live chat, please do come and say hello. While you're doing that, everybody, I think it is time. It is time. Are you ready? Get yourself in a... Oh, gosh, look at that. Just moving everything around. It is time, everybody, for... Is it going to move? No, it is time for a sit-down dance party. Are you ready? Right, it's only, I think, 8 seconds, might even be less than that. Are you ready? We're going to have a very quick dance party. We all know how it starts on the my left. I don't know if that's your, I don't know how it looks on screen, but anyway, we're going to start this side and we go here and here, right? And it's all about the facial. Are you ready? Yay! One more dance party. Let's get the energy going. Do the Carlton. That's what we do on this channel to boost the energy. Right then, dragons, good evening. To the dragons, we are live here on the interwebs, dragons. Thank you for joining tonight. We're going to start with some lovely tarot readings for some lovely people, I am sure. And the first person we have is Chan's Juicy Tarot. So then I'm using, I love this deck so much. I'm using the vice versa deck. I do have the Thelema deck to hand, and I've got the Golden Girls deck again to hand because I just love it because it's so funny. It's so camp and silly that I really love it. I've got more decks coming as well. I still haven't looked at the before deck that that Patricia sent me, or the Everyday Enchantment Tarot, because I keep running out of time. I just need lots of Blissful, I can't answer that question, I'm afraid. I can't answer that question. We don't cover medical questions like that, I'm afraid, on this channel, just because it's not something that I am comfortable getting involved in, I'm afraid. So yeah. Right then, so Chan's Juicy Tarot, dragons. Let's get cracking with the knacking. I'm going to write down, I was going to write down, hang on. Here we go. I can find my pen. I can find my pen. Got my pen. Got my pen. I'm going to write down the timestamps and I will remember to put them on as we go. So 18 minutes in, we have Chan's. Can you all have shorter names, please? Because it takes a lot to write these out. Right, here we go. Chan's Juicy Tarot. Dragons, the question for Chan's Juicy Tarot is, will I get a house soon and move? Oh, very interesting question. So then, Chan's, this is your timestamp. What will your card say? So then, dragons, will Chan's Juicy Tarot get a house soon and move? Let's have a look. So then, the first cab off the rank is always a good one. Always a good, nice start to the evening. I don't know why this camera keeps moving. Look, I keep moving it so those doors are right on the edge of frame and it keeps wanting to spin. I don't understand why. Maybe it's the dragons pushing it round. I don't know. Maybe they want to show you the state of the room that I'm in, because we've had all the shelves collapse and I've still not repaired everything. So because I'm lazy and because I've got ADHD and I forget and I just don't think about those things. Anyway, right, now we've had a card jump. I had a card drop. I had I had lots of cards drop. That isn't important. When a single card drops, that becomes important. So Chan's Juicy Tarot, the card that's dropped, so your modifying card is a major arcana card. If you're new here, the tarot is separated into major and minor arcanas, basically sections. The first section, the major arcana, is what I call the headlines. These are the cards that you often see if it's ever depicted on telly or in movies, and they are the ones that have the name. So like the death card, the Fool, in this case, strength. The other set is the minor arcana. That's a lot more like a deck of normal playing cards. It goes ace to 10, and then instead of it going jack, queen, king, with the tarot deck we go page, knight, queen, king. So there is an extra set of 4 cards. The 4 suits in tarot, a bit like on a normal deck of playing cards, but in tarot we've got swords. I always forget. Swords, wands, coins, and chalices or cups. Sometimes instead of coins, it will say pentacles. Sometimes instead of cups, as I say, it will say chalices. Sometimes instead of wands, it can say sticks. It can say staves. And sometimes instead of swords, it can say daggers. Each of those suits mean a different thing. The way I interpret them after 28 years of experience of reading the tarot cards, I know, right? I did start in the womb. I'm that young. not. But the way that I interpret them is very, very intuitive and different to most other readers. So all of that being said, Chance Juicy Tarot, what does the Strength card mean in about your question? Well, it probably means that you are going to need to have some faith here. You're going to need to have some inner strength in order to get through this next chapter. Because for me, strength, very rarely does it mean muscles. It normally means that inner strength, that intestinal fortitude, as they say. So we'll do your drop. Oh, I didn't expect that to go a second time, but there we go. We've got your drop and 3 cards down. Let's have a look. Right. Okay, first of all, we've got the Fool coming up. This is the energy leading up to where you are now. Now, this is the flip side of the Fool, and this is the sort of interesting side of this deck. So you can see this is how the Fool normally appears. By the way, please ignore the state of my nails again. This is the way the Fool normally appears on a tarot deck. It's, you know, a figure that's quite dandy-ish, about to walk off a cliff. However, this side, it's still... I don't know where my phone is to turn on silent. Oh, it's behind me. It's still going to walk off a cliff. This character is still going to walk off, but you can see his faithful dog is just there. And this time he's falling off the cliff because he's busy watching the stars. Now, the shooting star for me in the tarot is all about wish fulfillment, wishing. You wish on a falling star. And so it's got that element to it. There's also these, the flower that you can see on this side. The leaves are falling, so time is moving on. So for me, the Fool in this way round is saying that the energy that's got you to where you are now, that energy, it has been around for a while. So I think this move is something you have wanted to do for quite a while, Chance. And if anything, it's kind of been something that's been on your mind for ages. Before you even spoke about it, it's been one of those things where you're like, I need to move, I want to move, I need to move. And now it's almost like you've manifested that, you're bringing that to fruition. And this energy is now here, but this again is being filtered through. By the way, sorry, this camera keeps moving. This is being filtered through the Strength card. So it's saying that you've had to remain really resolute and really fixed on this idea that you are going to move, you are going to find somewhere else to live, and that it is going to be something that is not only possible, it's not only probable, it's something that is factual and will be happening soon. So I think the answer is yes. Now, do I think that's going to go without any problem? Absolutely not. Reason being, in your present, we've got the Ace of Swords. Again, this is where that Strength card comes in as your modifier. The Ace of Swords is about a new project. All the aces refer to as something new coming in, new energy, new vibes, new projects. The swords are your trouble and strife suit. So that is about challenges, obstacles, things like that. So that is really saying it's going to be a hard process. It's going to be a difficulty to overcome here. But this side, look at that card. Does that look like it's a doom and gloom card? No, the other way round it does. It's a lot darker, a lot more doom and gloom. This way, the sword itself is glowing. You can see there's a lovely dawn light. You've got a glowing crown. This is something that is very doable. It's going to be a challenge, but it is very, very doable. And then in your future card, so this is what's coming up. Now, this can be, I would say, give it a couple of weeks and this energy will start to manifest. So it's what's coming up. When we say present, it's like in the next week or two. It's that energy that's around you now. So for the future energy, this is what's coming up towards probably the end of the month and coming in after that. So end of February, March time, we've got the King of Cups. Now, this King of Cups is reversed effectively. You can see that's the other side of the card. This is this side. And this version of the card, I don't know whether you can see, but we've got a dolphin. Can you see just on the bottom? You've got a dolphin. You've got this throne that the king sits on that is made out of this coral-like substance, like the rocks. And it's a very different look. There's the front. it's a very different feel. But this water means malleable. It means being able to go with the flow. Now, the King of Cups is all about your emotions, by the way. So this is all about how you feel and about all that positive energy. Now, the King is somebody that could relate to an authority figure, a father figure, somebody like that. It could also relate to somebody that might have, it could be a landlord, it could be something along those lines, but it's somebody that's on a slightly higher or more elevated level to do with this subject than you. And again, going through this strength thing, it could be that this person's going to help you with this challenge. So look out for, if things feel a bit sticky towards the end of February and things aren't moving forward, look out for someone who's going to be older and maybe wiser, who will come in with some suggestions of support. That is the person that you need to be looking at. That's the person you need to be kind of edging towards, if you like, because they're the one that are gonna, they're the one that they are the one who is going to language today. Speaking is not good English, is it? That the King is the one who's going to be able to help, is basically what I'm saying. Help you overcome that obstacle. But you need to, but you need to stay strong and keep focus to get through that problem. I hope that helps. I really, really do. Let me just click on the live chat. Oh God, hang on. I need to turn off this instant thing that pops up. Could that be a person? Absolutely, it's a person. Absolutely, 100%. That is a person. The King energy is a person. Absolutely, 100%. It's nothing else. It is definitely a person. At least that's what the cards always give me. But again, you do make all of your own decisions about your own life, and tarot is only for entertainment purposes only. But yes, it is definitely a person, and I would say towards the end of February, even as far away as the middle of March, this person's going to come in. It's a bit far off at the moment, but that person's going to come in and offer you some solutions to this issue. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you very much for your question, and I'm going to let you go. I just need to do something very, very quickly. What can I? Right. I'm going to hit this little video. Now, this is for a wonderful friend of the channel called Neil, who runs a zine called Necronomicon. It's a horror zine. And yeah, you go and check it out on Etsy whilst it's still available on Etsy, because it will be changing where you get it from at some point, maybe. But check it out on Etsy right now. While you watch this for 18 seconds, I am going to sort my camera out. So yeah, give me 1 second. Oh, 18.
Are you a fan of 80s horror but want something different? Do you like modern horror but the regular magazines leave you a bit cold? Are you a fan of that schlocky horror that no one else seems to talk about? Check out Necronomicon, the UK horror zine from Etsy.com. Just search for Necro Neil.
I'm back. There you go. Sorry, everybody. Oh, no. Oh, my camera settings. Oh, bloody hell. Right, we're just going to be pale and grayscale now for the rest of today's stream. Oh, I can't believe I forgot that. Right, oh well, never mind. This is just how we're going to be today. Completely grayed out now. There's nothing I can do about the colors now without absolutely ending the stream and starting it again, but we're not going to do that. So then, this is just now how we're going to appear, because yes, great, fantastic. I've got you, Lorna. No worries, my darling. I have you in the chat. Chance Juicy Tarot, I hope that helped. I really, really do. Shivani, good evening. I hope you are well. Right, let's have a look at who is next. Lorna, I'll come to you in a second. Before I do, though, I did say that I will get to Crystal Pickett this week. So Crystal Pickett, if you're here, my darling, come and say hello in the live chat. I will get your question up next. So Crystal Pickett, if you're here on the live, come and say hello, and I will get to you absolutely next. Let me just, there we go. Look, trying to sort my camera out, and I've changed all the settings have changed back to the camera's default, which makes me look grey. But anyway, Crystal Pickett, I've got you. So dragons. Before I do, let me hit this. Let me hit the. That's really annoyed me. I took ages earlier on sorting out the colours, and now we're back to grey. Never mind. Crystal Pickett, what will your card say? Let's have a look. Dragons. Why is Jay keep calling you private? And why I say hello, he doesn't say anything. So Crystal Pickett, why is Jay, Dragon, sorry, why is Jay prank calling or miscalling or generally being a bit of an idiot to Crystal Pickett with the phone? Let's have a look. What are Jay's intentions with Crystal Pickett? What is going on? Let's have a look then, Dragons. So, do you know what? I don't know whether it's a, or whether it's a, I don't know which of these it is, but it does sound a bit of a, it does, doesn't it? It does. Sounds a bit like that. But Dragons, let's have a look. So then we're going to do your drop. Eventually they'll drop. Oh, they're not sure, are they? The cards are not sure. Look, they don't want to drop. Come on, cards. It's going, it's going. There we go. A definitive drop after all of that. So then let's have a look. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, interest. Oh, wow. Right. Okay. Do you remember how at the start of the program? The start, I said that we had the major arcana and the minor arcana. 2 other things to bear in mind with the tarot cards. Okay. Very rarely, she says, trying to get in shot a bit better. There we go. Very rarely do the cards mean what they say on the tin. Sometimes they do, like with the strength card. Most of the time they don't. You've got 2 cards that definitely do not mean what the title says. Okay, Crystal Pickett, you have to bear this in mind. You have to remember, absolutely, these cards do not mean what they mean on face value. It is a metaphor for something else, right? With all of that being said, the first card you've got coming up in the energy that is up till now, that the energy that got you here, is the death card. Now, this doesn't mean death. It means transformation. It means the death or the ending of one aspect of your life. Now, you're asking very specifically why Jay keeps calling you. I wonder if I can put this light on. Is that going to, no, it's not going to help, is it? Why Jay keeps calling you. Hang on, there we go. And basically the answer is, it looks like there was an ending, and that ending was so definitive, and it was literally for you moving on. For you, it's a new chapter. For you, it's starting something completely different. For Jay, maybe not so much. Maybe there's some lingering energy there that hasn't been dealt with. But for you, it feels like this was a serious transformation and moving on. Now, the other way to look at this is that this transformation could be the ending of a friendship or a relationship that literally just fizzled out and died. So it could be that, especially where in the present we've got the devil. Again, it doesn't mean that Lucifer is rising from, no, it doesn't mean any of that. What it means is literally this card is talking about materialism, and it's talking about bonds that you would sell your soul for, if that makes sense. So it's talking about having things that are so highly valued that it's the material over the spiritual. So it's putting earthly pleasures, if you like, and the physical, the what's the word I'm looking for? The material, yeah, the material world over your spiritual world, your thoughts, your heart, all of that. And so when we're talking about why is Jay calling you and missing things, this connection here between these 2 characters, I don't know whether you can see it, it's the lighting now looks terrible, but there are 2 characters on this card that are the same 2 as in the Lovers, and they are bonded. There is literally a chain that goes from one to the other, linking them to this block in the center. And this card can also represent marriage and significant relationships. So it could well be that Jay thought that the relationship was a bit more significant than you did, and that he's mourning the loss of that relationship and is therefore acting acting out because he literally can't let go. Little bit of a, not a massive red flag, but a little red flag, a little bit of a warning. We're not quite at red alert stations yet, but we're not far from it. Does that make sense? The other thing to bear in mind with the devil card is that the devil is in the details. So there are ways and means to deal with this. Do you know it's definitely Jay on the phone, for instance? If so, depending on what mobile network you're with, you can block their number from ever contacting you. So maybe look at that. Maybe that is something to look at. The devil's in the details. Maybe if it goes any further, or you start feeling this is harassment, there are laws against this. So you could quite happily report that you keep getting numbers from a private number. And if that continues, then just, like, you can put blocks on your phone, you can change your phone number, all of these other things that you can do to keep yourself safe. If there's any hint at all of it crossing over into something else, then don't hesitate to report it. Even if it's just some missed calls and things like that, don't hesitate to report it. Lastly, we've got the King of Wands coming up. Now, again, you're asking why Jay is doing this. So again, I think this is Jay's interpretation. Sorry, this is so washed out at the moment. We've got the King of Wands. Now, Wands, again, is all about security and all about confidence. So I think this is Jay's way of feeling more confident, like feeling that he's in control some way. And again, this for me would be a little bit of a red flag, a little bit of a warning, because it is that thing again of, why does Jay still want to have aspect or have contact in your life? If you've moved on and you're over it, why is he still coming through like that? Why is that energy on repeat? And for me, that would be a bit of a warning shot, particularly because this card feels like he's going to feel more confident as we move forward. So that for me would be, again, no panic. It's not a case of panicking. But if you're uncomfortable with an ex contacting you, prank calling you, misdialing you, all of these things, and basically ringing you and then not saying anything and hanging up, if that makes you feel uncomfortable, report it, because that will stop this confidence building. And basically at the moment, it's kind of like a yellow flag. It's not quite an amber flag, and it's definitely not a red flag, but this is the sort of thing you want to nip in the bud now, Crystal Pickett, and you want to stop it from getting into that orange and into that red alert element. You know what I mean? You don't want this sort of alarm going off. You want to get there before you want to end that before it gets there, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what the cards are saying, my darling. I think there's quite a bit of a spurned lover type energy coming through with the cards in that aspect. So yeah, just bear that in mind. But number one, look after yourself and keep yourself very, very safe. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you very much for your reading, and I'm going to move on to the next one. But thank you, Crystal Pickett, and I really do hope that helped in some way. Right then, Lorna, if you're still here, come and say hello in the live stream. Come and say hello in the live stream. What else have I got to do? Oh, I saw Holland put in the chat about having a like spike. A like spike. So we want a like spike, please. Hello and blessing. Hello, host. Hello, Miss Happy Zen. I like that name. That's a lovely name. Yes, so oh, look. As Patricia says, after submitting your question, it is important you stay on the feed or you may miss your name being called. If you miss your name, it may not be possible to get your reading. Exactly. And Holland said earlier, where was it? Don't forget to like this video. Yes, I want a like spike, please. A like spike would be glorious. Glorious, that's what we want. Yay. So then, Lorna, if you're still here, my darling, come and say hello on the live. Oh, you're there. Look at that. I didn't. Oh, hang on. There we go. Didn't even see it. Smriti Mondal, if you want a question, you need to put the word question followed by your question in the live chat. Look, it's just going there. Look, oh, followed by the word question, just disappearing off the screen. So yes, right, Lorna, I've got your question in courtesy of that there, Neil. A general relationship question for his sister. I thought I was your sister, Neil. Never mind. You can join us. We would be honoured if you would join us. That's supposed to be a lot louder than that. Anyway, right then, Lorna. So, dragons. Lorna would like a question. Lorna, your question is coming up. Oh, hang on. Give me a second. Can someone tell me on the back end, how many likes have we got right now? There's 14 watching. How many likes? I want at least 14 likes. That would be... Yes, 14 likes, please. Dragons, you've got Lorna coming up now. Right, time-wise, it is 41 minutes in. Lorna. Right, here we go then, dragons. So Lorna would like to know... Oh, hang on. What's happening in the chat? The chat's gone mad. Right, okay. Oh, we got 15 likes. Woohoo! Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's amazing. Thank you, everybody. Ed says there's 1 like. Thanks, Ed. Cheers. Cheers, Ed. Thanks for that. Smriti Mondal, I've got your question in. Don't worry. I know you're supposed to put the word question at the front, but I've got it in. Oh, no, I've got it in. I've got it. Right then, Lorna. Oh, 17 likes, 19 likes. Yes! You can go off people, you know. You can go off people very easily. Very, very easily. Can you... That's all I've got to say. Right then, dragons. Sorry. Lorna would like to have a general relationship reading, please. So a relationship reading for the lovely Lorna, who's going to come on the podcast someday soon. So that's Patricia, Holland, Lorna. All we want to get you all on the podcast. Maybe not to get. I mean, I tell you what, Neil, we'll get them all on at once, and then we just won't have to do anything. Being like an easy episode, we'll just get loads of other people to talk amongst themselves. That's all we do on the podcast anyway. If you don't know what we're talking about, we've got a podcast, me and Neil, called Witchy Wednesday with. It's currently on YouTube. I do need to strip the audio and send it up onto the podcast platforms, but yes, do have a look on this channel for that. It's a very interesting podcast. I'm a folklore witch and Neil is a chaos mage, so between the two of us we've got very different backgrounds but very similar views on life. So if that sounds interesting, check it out. I keep dropping these cards today. I don't know what is wrong with me, apart from the fact my wrist has been hurting. Don't be smutty. Don't be smutty in the chat. Don't be smutty when I say my wrist is hurting. It's got nothing to do with Rufus or anything else. It's literally just because I've slept funny. Don't be smutty in the chat, right? None of that. No, none of that. We're not talking about that. Anyway, right. So, dragons, let's have a look at what you are saying for Lorna. Let's have a look. The cards are going to drop in a second. The drops have been really delayed today. It's going again. It's going again. It's not done. It's not done. It's going again. There we go. Is that it? That's it. I knew that wasn't done. I knew it wasn't done. Right. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Right. Okay. So we don't have a major arcana card for you, Lorna. We do have 3 minors. Now, not underage people or people that dig up coal or gold or aluminum. Do they mine aluminum? Anyway, not that. These are 3 minor arcana cards. So we've got the energy that takes you up to where you are now. We've got the 8 of Cups. So this is, I wish this color was sorted out because these cards are looking pale and horrible in comparison, but they're absolutely gorgeous. So the Eight of Cups is a beautiful card. It talks about, so cups is all about emotions for me. It's all about your loves, your passions, the things that you enjoy, all of those things in life. It can also be about relationships. So in a relationship reading, ding, 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 ding. But what I would say is that the Eight of Cups is a bit of an iffy card. Now, I wish this was, I really wish this would focus a bit more and be clearer. But these cups are a little bit worse for wear, a little bit damaged, a bit broken, a bit chipped. And if you look, there's one missing, a bit like my nails, and there's one missing from the way that they've been laid out. Now, what that says, that suggests that your relationship history has been a bit checkered. There's been some broken and chipped cups that you've been left with as you've come through that to get to where you are now. So there's been some healing involved to get through it, if that makes sense. But just because a cup has a chip in it doesn't mean it's unusable. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with that. The Japanese have an amazing thing called kitsugari, which is basically when they have a large pot that breaks or chips, they repair it with gold, and it becomes this incredible work of art because of its flaws, because of those cracks and those chips. And basically this, what once was a standard plate or a standard charger, a standard bowl, becomes this amazing, beautiful, unique one-off piece of art, because each one of the cracks has been painstakingly filled with this gold and painted over to the point where the bowl, the cup, whatever it is whole. It's absolutely whole and usable, but it's been elevated because of those chips and those cracks. And this is what this is talking about in terms of relationships. It's saying that, yes, you've got some chips and some cracks and some flaws now. You've been damaged through previous relationships. There's stuff that you've had to come through, but it's left you covered now with gold, liquid gold, joining those cracks together, repairing those damaged parts. And actually what you are left with now as a whole is more beautiful than if it had just been left. Is it perfect? Depends on your point of view. Is it unique and a one-off thing that exists? The answer to that is absolutely yes. Now, the one thing I would say, this card, when we look at this gap, there's a gap missing. Now, it is the 8, it isn't the 9. You would assume it would be the 9 because there's one missing here, but it is the 8. And so is there a cup that's been missing? Is there something that's been taken and that you are missing in terms of relationships? Is there something that you have given away that you can't get back? I don't mean like your flower, but you know what I mean. Is there some part of your spiritual journey, some part of your essence that you have basically said that you have shut down and moved on from? Because again, this character is walking away from the cups. So has this character taken them? And this character is normally seen as the query, the person asking the question. So have you taken this cup with you to protect it? Are you leaving these ones behind because they're too damaged, is the question. We've also got the sun and the moon represented here. So we've got a time element going on. So there's a time scale. These cups don't get damaged. These chalices don't get damaged in one day. This isn't damage that happens instantly. This happens over a period of time. And so the healing from that, the repairs from that will happen over a period of time as well. Whether that's the kitsugari method or whether it's literally taking these to a goldsmith, getting them melted down and recast into brand new, like gorgeous, amazing, sparkling, wonderful new pieces of cutlery, I was about to say, crockery, glassware, goblets, yeah, that. So there's options here, and what this is really saying is that getting you to where you are now, you've been through the mill a little bit. You've been through the mill a little bit, but you are whole, you are complete. You might not feel it, but you are whole and complete where you are right now. It's just as all of us age, we get lines and wrinkles around our face because that's part of growing older. And it's the same with your emotions, your heart. Your heart will get bruising and scarring and all of these things from all the relationships that we've ever had. And again, like those cups, like those Japanese plates or bowls, It's just part of having something that is valuable for a long time. It will inevitably get damage. Where you are now is really interesting. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. Now in this card, look, if I turn it round, you can see it's pretty much the same sort of image, but this way it's time to, how can I put it? The word I want to say, right, is it's time to shit or get off the pot, right? There comes a time where you have to cut your losses, basically. And this 7 is about that, right? So the story on this card is that this person has been waiting for this tree to blossom with all of these golden orbs, all of these golden pentacles, these floating gold orbs that is going to make this person absolute rich. However, most of these branches are bare. Most of the tree is bare. It's stunted. The growth isn't happening. And so this person is having to decide, do I cut my losses and dig it up and replace it with another plant? Or do I leave it even longer and keep fertilizing it even longer, even though I know it's actually been planted in barren ground? So all of this ground in the background, there's not a weed or a twig or a blade of grass growing. There's like dead leaves and dead plants around the bottom. So there comes a time where you have to say, actually, I can't nurture this plant anymore. It's not going to survive. It's the wrong soil. It's got the wrong sun. You know, it needs full sun and it's growing in shade. It needs a chalk soil and it's in clay. You know, it's all of these things that are, or a sandy soil and it's in clay. All of these things are not going to bode well. You know, it needs to be watered once a month and you're watering it twice a day. This plant is never going to succeed where it is. And you've got 2 choices. You either dig it up and move the plant and hope that it grows somewhere else, or you cut your losses and start again. And that's what this is talking about. So when we're talking about relationships, I don't know whether you're in a relationship at the moment, whether you're getting over one with these cups, whether you're healing from a relationship, but I think that there is time, or I think that this is time to basically say, do you know what? I either move on wholeheartedly, or I keep persevering and trying to flog this dead horse, trying to make this plant grow in the soil that it doesn't want. Eventually, if you were to completely say, if this plant is in your garden, right, you could eventually dig down, careful of the roots, replace the soil where it is. You could change the soil, you could change the alkaline of the soil, you could put different things in, nurture it, and, you know, cut down a tree over there that's casting it in shade so it gets more sun. You could do all of that, or you could dig it up and move it. And that's what this is talking about. Is it time for you to, relationship wise, is it time for you to give it up and move on? Or is it time for you to plow more and more and more effort in the hope that it will prevail? I don't know. What I do know is that your future card is coming up as the Page of Swords. Now, this way round, look at this figure. Look at this figure. This gorgeous figure. Not entirely certain of this person's gender. Male, female, non-binary, doesn't matter. It's just a page. And the page is youthful energy in my understanding of the deck. Now, this is how it's come up for you, though. It's come up reversed. And there's something here of the Storm from the X-Men about this. The page is that young energy that is quite naive, but also quite explosive, if that makes sense. Like quick to throw a tantrum, quick to lay down exactly, I want this and I want it now. Not like the Knight energy. The Knight is slightly more teenage energy and has moved beyond the tantrum to get what they want. The pages are still very much, you know, I want chocolate now or else I'm going to throw a fit. Do you know what I mean by that? And so this is coming up in the new, this is the new energy that is coming forward. Now, again, on the back of this, it would suggest to me that if you are in a relationship right now, that you're questioning, excuse me, I've got Pop is repeating on me. Some energy drink. If you are in a relationship right now, then I think you're questioning it, and you're questioning kind of how long it's going to sustain. And if you are doing that, then again, this is not a long-term fix. This is not a long-term solution. This is going to be more of a hindrance than anything else. Swords are always trouble and strife for me, obstacles, challenges. It can also mean ideas and thoughts, but not the way that the cards are for me. So again, other tarot readers would have a different interpretation, I'm sure, but they would then get different cards to give you the same meaning, hopefully. So yeah, so this page for me, when you look at it, they're floating above the ground, holding this glowing sword, and they are very sure of themselves, but also they're very sure of themselves because they haven't stopped to think anything through. They haven't, like, they are just, it's like a toddler that wants chocolate now. You can't explain to that toddler that actually you can have chocolate after dinner. You've got to eat your carrots and your veggies first. That toddler just wants chocolate now, and that's the energy that you're dealing with. And that challenge is going to be how you confront that moving forward. If you're in a relationship, then I think it's something you need to bear in mind. If you're not in a relationship now, then this is really talking about the challenge will be to overcome the stagnancy here and the damaged cups here, and it's about how you heal. Dragons, hang on, before I go to the dragons, let me just click on the live and see if you have commented anything in the live. You've seen that, okay. Right, okay. Oh, Yaz is here. Good evening, Yaz. Oh, it's not a t-shirt, it's a little mini dress. Right, I'm going to ask the dragons. Dragons, we want one card for Lorna. Advice moving forward. Advice moving forward to overcome this stagnancy that we've got at the moment. Okay, so this 7 of Pence feeling, this element of a lot of work being put in but getting no result. We want a card for the advice for now to avoid the swords to come. Okay, that's what we're looking for, dragons. Very specifically, I know, but come on, you can do this. I've got faith in you. Come on, Wispy. Right, I'm going to play. It's definitely Wispy because I can feel him on my neck. Wispy, we've got your theme on and everything. This is your wind chimes. So I want one card, Wispy. Advice for Lorna to overcome this stagnant 7 and avoid the sword. Is that just the drop? That's the drop. Okay. Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords. Become the issue. Become the challenge. Become the obstacle. Oh, Holland's saying that they've lost picture. Has anyone else lost picture? Hopefully not. Become the challenge. Basically, or how would I put it? So the Queen of Swords is somebody who deals with challenges in a very kind of cutthroat way, in a very strong way. So she basically doesn't suffer fools gladly. She deals with things absolutely head on. She deals with things in a way that she doesn't take prisoners. She really does not take prisoners. She absolutely cuts everything down with the sword, and she's not worried about making enemies, and she's not worried about being liked, because she is the law. She is the person that basically says in the kingdom, she's the person that decides what is happening. And for you, Lorna, this is saying become that embodiment of the Queen of Swords energy. Become that strong, become that sure of yourself that you wield the sword, not the page. The page cannot wield the sword if the Queen's got it, if that makes sense. Like, if this is the one glowing sword in the kingdom, like, again, you can see here, look, I don't know whether it's going to show up because this camera settings are awful. This sword is probably the same sword as the Queen's got here. take the power back and control the narrative yourself. Decide how you are going to move forward with this Seven of Pentacles, with this feeling of a lot of energy being put in and not a lot coming out of it. I hope this is making sense, Lorna. If you're not in a relationship at all, then I would say it's really talking about trying to clear all of that negativity before you move forward. But I think you might be in a relationship. I don't know. Certainly from what the cards are saying, it looks like there is definitely some sort of blockage here, and hopefully this makes sense for you to move forward, if that makes sense. It wasn't on my end, everyone. I don't know what's happened. It's the YouTube gremlins. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Lorna, I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you're in a relationship, if you can take this. Because if you're not in a relationship, then I will try and reinterpret the cards. But it certainly feels like you are. It's an amazing reading. Okay. Thank you. I hope that helps then. I really, really do. Yeah, I really hope that helps. Let me know how things go. And I wish you the very, very best of luck. I really do. And what I would say is message via Neil or message me direct and let me know when you're free, and I'll do you a 10 card for free. I'll do you a 10 card. Okay, my darling. Well, thank you very much for your question. I really hope that helps. And yay, thank you ever so much. Thanks very much for your question, and thank you for the feedback comment. No, where is it? There, that one. You're on with someone. It's been a tough time. Yeah. So Seven of Pence. Just bear that in mind. What is it they say? Throw good money after bad. Is that the saying? I can't remember. Yaz. Anyway, thank you, Lorna. I hope that helps. You've got Ragu listed next. Okay, I'll have a look at that. Yaz, look what I've got. I've added some sounds. Here comes the money. Here we go. And I'm going to ask everybody again, can we have another like spike? I don't know how many's on. I don't know how many likes we've got. If you haven't liked this channel yet, this video, please give it a like. That would be... Yay! Glorious! Ragu, you're here, my darling. Thank you so much for coming and saying hello. Don't forget, as the mods keep saying, all the way through the chat, if you have asked a question, please stick around. I will get to your question as soon as I can. If you leave the chat and then come back, chances are you could miss your turn, and then you see 21 likes. Yay! Yay! That's so cool. That is so cool. I am 1 sub away from 1,000. Oh, yes. Keep subbing, everybody. Sub. What are we going to do when we get 1,000? What am I going to do? I don't know. Because chances are, how this works, right, Queen of Sheba, how this works is people subscribe for the day because they get a reading, and then they unsubscribe tomorrow. So by tomorrow, it'll be less. It'll be... Unable to comply. That's literally what it'll be. That
information is not on file.
Exactly. It will not be on file. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think we should do a flash something. Not as in boobies, as in like... So, move on, Lisa. Move on. Right, Ragu Pachori. I'm going to move on rapidly to your question. So let's have a little look. See, where's your question gone? I have got it. Will you get married 2 times, or will you face any extramarital affairs in your life? Good question. Let's see what the dragons have to say. Right, 1 hour and 4 minutes. and that is Ragu Patrori. Let me just write that down for the timestamps that I will put on the channel after this. I didn't do it last week. Sorry, the week before last, because I forgot, but I will do that. You subscribed to me 3 times and you only have 3 accounts, so you can't do it again. Oh, thank you, Nanette, my darling. Thank you. You get a, what can I play to say thank you to Nanette? You get a, oh, I know. Wow. Yeah, so right then, Ragu, let's have a look at your questions. So, dragons, will Ragu get married twice, or will they face any extramarital affairs in life? Will it's a bit of an odd question, Ragu. Bit of an odd question. Are you currently married and like you're expecting to get divorced and then get married, excuse me, again? Or are you expecting your other half to cheat and have affairs? Or are you expecting an affair? Oh gosh, all the cards have fallen on the floor, on the table, sorry. It's a bit of an odd question, but we will see what the dragons have to say. So then, dragons, I think we've got Scarlet coming through. We have got Scarlet. Oh no, we've got Wispy coming through. Wispy. That's very strange. Wispy with Scarlet? You don't want Wispy and Scarlet together. Nobody wants Wispy and Scarlet together. Oh my gosh, right. Hang on. Cards have just flown. That is definitely, this is what happens when we get Wispy and Scarlet. Was that only 1 card? It was only 1 card, is it? Let me just double check. Yes, it was only 1 card. Make sure there's nothing else there. No, 1 card flew. And, oh, it's the 2 of Wands. Oh, sorry, there we go. So the 2 of Wands has flown out of the, like literally flown out of the pack. So this is your modifying card, your clarifying card. Now, Wands for me is all about security and confidence, which is really interesting, seeing as you're asking about whether you're going to get either cheated on or have 2 marriages. So that's really interesting. So the 2 of Wands for me, 2s are normally about couples and coming together. So that's interesting. But the Wands here is all about your confidence and all about that sense of security. So I would say, interesting that you've got a 2 coming up, because you're asking about, are you going to get married 2 times? So it could be that you are going to marry 2 times. Let's see what the cards have to say when we do the drop. So then let's have a look at your drop. It's just how we cut the deck. We call it a drop. Now I have to hold the cards at a certain height, so I can't see the top or bottom card, because these cards are double-sided. So I don't want to influence the drop in any way. And it's also why I tend to look at you while I'm doing that. Oh my gosh, right. Okay, so let's have a look. Well, this doesn't help in any way. Right, okay, so are you going to get married twice or have an extramarital affair? It's a difficult one. It's a very difficult one, and it's a very difficult set of cards to read under that context. But anyway, we'll give it a go. So in the past position, we've got the World. Now, for me, this would mean that if you're in a relationship currently, then it felt amazing when you started that relationship. It was like the world was falling into place. Right, hang on a second. Ragu, Holland, Blue Chalice Holland is asking if you think your first marriage will be successful. Is that the question? Is that what you're asking? Can you just confirm the question in the chat, because it's a very difficult question to answer, to be honest. So if you're asking what I would ask, okay, and I don't normally ask for clarity, but are you currently in a relationship? And you are asking if your first marriage will be successful. Right, okay. So then that puts it slightly different context. So that way the 2 of Wands would be the coming together, brings you security and brings you confidence, okay? So if you're currently married, then that feels really good. It feels like you've got the right person here at the moment. The world then becomes, as you've connected, as you've made that partnership, the world has opened up to you. The world is your oyster. That's a bloody good word, isn't it? The world is your oyster, your lobster. The world is yours, basically. So it's opened up a whole new world for you, in terms of opportunities, in terms of how you feel about yourself and everything else. The world, excuse me, is also seen as a portal card. So basically, before the relationship, there was one version of you, and after the relationship, or during this relationship, I should say, after you've met, there's a new you. It's changed your world. It literally has. Like, before and after you met this person, before and after your relationship, before and after you started the relationship, I should say. Now, in the present, we've got the Page of Cups. Now, again, this is a beautiful card, but the Page of Cups, I think if you're married, then you've only just been married, or you're only fairly young and your relationship's fairly new-ish. The reason I'm saying that is because Page is very innocent energy. So this is really young, youthful type energy that we're getting here. So the cups here is representative of water. It's representative of going with the flow, as I always say, and quite malleable. But it's the Page element of this card that we need to focus on. And that Page is that really young, quite innocent, quite naive energy that I think that's what you're bringing to the table here. So it could well be that your partner is older, or that your partner is more experienced, but definitely it feels like you're quite, maybe quite young, or quite, I don't want to say mature, quite inexperienced. There we go. Quite inexperienced with love. Now, the one thing I will say is that the cards coming up, the card coming up for the energy coming in from the end of February onwards, is a little bit of an interesting card. Okay, it's a bit of a wibbly one, because if I look at it through the Two of Wands, which is what we have to do with the clarifying cards, it's basically saying that, how can I put it? I don't think everything's perfect right now, right? Two reasons I say that. One, if everything was perfect right now, you wouldn't be asking this question. Two, I think that there are some issues around, whether it's around intimacy, as in this, getting jiggy with it, in other words, like bedroom stuff, or whether it's an emotional intimacy. And I think it's probably the latter, because the reason I'm saying this, the card we've got coming up is the Five of Pentacles. Now, this card for me depicts that, like, the line that goes with this card is left out alone, left outside alone. And this side, you've got the poor person. On the other side, you've got the rich person. Like, one's inside the church looking out, one's outside the church looking in, but it's basically the same feeling that's evoked. Now, this one is slightly colder. So when we're dealing with an emotional reading, especially where we've got the Two of Wands, I think it's basically saying that you've come together, you've connected and bonded, and you've put a lot of faith in your other half. However, emotionally, maybe there's a bit of a gap here. Maybe there's a little bit of distance, because we've got this page, and because the way the page has come up, look, this side, but we've got, for your reading, we've got the back of the card. And when we've gone from the back of the card, we've then got the Five of Pentacles coming up in the snow. So what that's telling me, just by looking at it, is there's a little bit of distance has crept in, and maybe here a little bit of a lack of personal intimacy. Again, not bedroom intimacy, personal intimacy. That feeling of being able to share everything with your other half, being able to tell your other half, like, your darkest secrets, and know that they're kept, and having that person, like, tell you their darkest secrets and know that you're going to keep them. Does that make sense? So I don't think things are bad. it doesn't look like there's any ending coming up. It doesn't look like, certainly in the short term, that things are going to fall off the wagon, things are going to fall off that cliff. It doesn't feel that bad, but it feels like there's been a change in how you view each other at the moment. Now, what I would say to that is perfectly fixable and perfectly normal and natural. All relationships go through peaks and troughs. All relationships go through different periods where, you know, you can almost feel like you're at loggerheads with one another, or that you've got nothing in common anymore. And you just need to take a step back and realize why you fell for that person in the first place, and then look at that and look at where you are, and then try and have some communication about that. Would be my advice. I'm not a trained counselor. I've done some counseling skills courses. I've done some counseling courses, but I'm not a trained counselor. My advice would always be to go and seek out counseling if you require it and if you need help in that area. But just looking at the cards, it really does feel like you had the world in the past, and now there's a little bit of an emotional change, and it's moving perhaps so that you felt like you had come together, and now it feels like you're starting to move apart. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to end up like this. It just means, and quite a few relationships work best when they are not in each other's pockets and they kind of go off in their own way. For that, my darling, only you're the one that will know whether that is possible for you and whether that's right for you, or whether you prefer it being solidly joined at the hip. And again, with that, my darling, I'm going to leave that with you. I don't think there's any immediate concern, but my advice would be to maybe see how you feel and start talking about that with your partner. And I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really do. As I say, it doesn't feel horrendous yet, but it's one of those things, if you don't nip it in the bud, it will continue, and it's something that could easily fester. And, you know, if it's leaving you feeling unsure of the relationship now, if you don't confront it, it may well get worse. That distance, you know, at the moment you're only here this far apart. Eventually you keep going down the road, you know what I mean? But anyway, my darling Raghu, I hope that helps, and thank you very much for your question. Let me just have a look. I've got 4 in Holland. Let me just go back up the chat. Who am I looking for? Hang on, let me just go back up the chat and find these questions that I haven't picked up. Bear with. Priyanka, I've got it. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Do I have any music that might be better than listening to me singing? Do 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 do. I'm going all the way back up through the chat looking for the questions that I might have missed. Hang on. Bum, 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 bum. Bear with everybody. I'm coming back through the questions. I've got that one. I think I've got that one. Oh, hang on. Right, I've got Miss Happy Zens. Bum, 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 bum. Hang on, everybody. Sorry, everyone. I'm just going back through the chat, just seeing if there's any I've missed. That's going way back. Gone back. No, I don't think I have. Oh, Blissful. Oh no, I can't ask your Blissful. I can't answer your question. Right, Holland. Let me have a look and let me just compare your list and my list. New comments. Yeah, make sure you stick around for your reading, everybody. Ananya, who have I got? I've got Ananya, Candy Cat Jules, Smriti, Priyanka, Queen of Sheba, Miss Happy Zen, and that's it. Who am I missing off your list? Candy Cat Jules, Miss Happy Zen, Queen of Sheba, Smitty, and Prinkin. I've got a different. Oh, and Amina. Hang on. Oh yes, I can see Amina's question there. Right, I've got it. We're all back on. Everybody's fine. It's all good. Let's have another dance break. Haven't got the energy anymore. I know, right? Right. Got everybody. We're fine. It's all good. It's all good. Right then. So let's have a look. Who is going to be up next? I'll tell you what. Hang on. Who have I got next? I have got Ananya Carola. Ananya Carola, if you're here, my darling, come and say hello in the chat. Let's come and say hello in the chat. Ananya Carola, or Carola. I hope that I'm pronouncing. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your names. I am so sorry. Ananya Canola, Ananya Carola. Look, I'm just going to put the question up. There you go. If this is you, come and say hello. Where is it? There. If this is you, come and say hello in the live chat. Ananya Carola, this is your first call out. Yes, wow. Come and say hello in the live chat. Ananya, if you're here, let me have a look. Ananya, if you're here in the live chat, come and say hello. Okay, bye. One last. Ananya, if you're here, come and say hello. Otherwise, I'm going to move on.
Unable to comply. Unable to comply.
That information is not on file.
Unable to comply.
Oh no! Oh no!
That information is not on file.
Accessing library computer data. Unable to comply.
Ah, Ananya! Unfortunately, we've had to skip you, my darling. I'm so sorry. Next person is Candy Cat Jules. Candy Cat Jules, if you're here, come and say hello in the chat. And then I've got Smriti. Candy Cat Jules and then Smriti. Don't forget, if you're waiting in the queue, you can take advantage of the QJUMP option that we now have available on the channel. And all you need to do is go across to buymeacoffee.com/beyondauthentic, where you can buy me a coffee, a £3 coffee, a £5 coffee, whatever you want to do. That will get you a QJUMP. So if you want to take advantage of that, and if you're waiting, look how bright, look how bad the white balance is. Oh, it's blooming camera. If you want to take advantage of that, you do words fail me.
Unable to comply.
Yes, I am unable to comply. Then do go take advantage of that and go and do that. Right. Yes, I am having lots of fun with these noises. Yes, thank you very much. I know, right? Oh, Candy Cat Jules is here. Fabulous. Right then, Candy Cat Jules, your question is coming up straight after this. That didn't work at all, did it? Right, hang on. Let me do that again. Press the button. Honestly, I clicked it. Oh, no, I didn't. I just moved one down. There we go. Click it.
Incoming transmission.
Dragons. Candy Cat Jules would like to know, what does S, is that an S? Hang on, I can't read the question. Yes, it looked like an A for a second. What does S currently feel towards Candy Cat Jules? That's what we want to know, Dragons. What does S currently feel towards Candy Cat Jules? Let me have a little look-see for you. Don't forget, if you've waited, if you've asked for a question, you do need to hang on in there. You do need to hang on in there, and I will get through as many as I can. We've got about 37 minutes left. So I've got 6 people waiting. I don't know how many of those I'm going to get through. Ed, if I can't get to you today, drop me a line when you're free, and I'll do a one-on-one online, if that makes sense. I do a face-to-face online on the Doodah. So yes. No, you don't need to do that, Ed. Just message me. Mods. Yeah, just if you any of the mods want a reading, just message me. Tell me when you're free. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I haven't got that as a soundboard. And I'll do that for you. So yeah, don't worry. Right then, Candy Cat Jules, we've not had a card flip. So let's just have a look. I'm looking directly at the camera, not at the cards, so I'm not seeing above or below. It's really difficult with this deck. One drop, very simple. Right, how does S currently feel about Candy Cat Jules? Let's have a look. Oh, 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 interesting. What have I got for ooh? Do I have an ooh? Do I have an ooh? No, I've got a. So in the past, we've got the Two of Cups. Now, whichever way around this card is, it can only really ever mean one thing, which is a partnership, or at least some partnery type feelings. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you've crossed that line and become partners or become or you know what I mean? It's not necessarily either of those, but there is this partner energy going on. So it feels like whether you were in a relationship or whether you could have been in a relationship, it feels like that was very much a potential in the recent past. However, we've now got an obstacle card because in the present, we've got the King of Swords. So I think S is bringing in this obstacle energy, this blocking energy. So I don't know how much that actually connects, but there's very much a blocking, challenging energy coming in right now. And oh, Ness is going. Good night, Ness, my darling. Sleep well. Have a lovely week, and I will catch up on your channel very soon, my darling. But yes, have a lovely week. So yeah, the energy that's coming in right now is this challenge energy, and it is the King of Swords. Now, this could be an older person, so I don't know whether S is older than you. It's normally a masculine male type, traditionally male energy. Doesn't necessarily mean that it is though, but it is quite an authoritative energy. So I don't know whether this is an actual relationship here or whether this is something where you've just kind of been friends and it's like almost could have maybe crossed that line, but there definitely feels like there's a block and an obstacle right now, and that obstacle is this king energy. So the king makes all the decisions. The king has pretty much the final say, even over and above the queen. The king tends to be the final, the buttstocks here of the kingdom. There is one card above, or a couple of cards above, the emperor, the emperor, the empress, and the Hierophant and the High Priest, depending on what we're looking at. But generally speaking, this is somebody who makes a lot of decisions. And then we've got, coming up in the future, we've got the High Priestess. So you both liked each other. Well, the obstacle here then, this can also relate to fear. Swords can also, the obstacle here can also relate to fear and can sometimes be a blockage that is being brought in by this person. So if you like each other but haven't crossed that line, then like it's almost like one of you needs to make the first move, if that makes sense. Because in the future we've got the High Priestess coming up. Now the High Priestess is a very liminal card. She's literally sat on a throne between these two flames. So we've got a red flame and a blue flame. It's mirrored all the way throughout this deck. Now she's sat in between these two pillars. On the front of the card in the traditional tarot, she's sat between a black and a white pillar, but behind we've got these two flames. So there's these different elements that we've got going on. But from this way round, you see behind the throne. So you see that there's not this massive spiritual kingdom going on in the background. And so this is really talking about, from the High Priestess's point of view, this is kind of like the decision making behind the spiritual leader that the High Priestess is. So this is almost like you stepping in and saying, look, actually we need to, like, if we're going to go somewhere, we need to do it in a particular way. Does that make sense? It's like there's a spiritual connection here, perhaps more than a love connection. But that spiritual connection doesn't mean, how can I put it? I'm not going to say that you're soulmates or that you're soul spirits or two, you know, I'm not going to say any of that. Twin souls, none of that, because I don't necessarily believe in that. But there is definitely a connection here. Now, this blockage is a concern. This king blockage is a concern because it's quite a substantial blockage. So it may well be that S isn't in a position to move forward, or that you're not in a position to move forward right now. But the way out of that is this high priestess energy, and it is that that's coming in. Now, the high priestess energy for me can be quite aloof, can be quite distant, but is somebody who follows some very strict scripture-based rules, or some spiritual-based rules, and it's that element that is coming in very, very firmly into the future. So I don't get the impression that you are about to start a one and done relationship. I don't get the impression that the friendship's about to go tits up or anything like that. It feels very much like there is a kind of a feeling out between you as to see who's going to take that first step and cross that line. And at the moment, there's a lot of fear in here. And partly, it's almost like different religion or different faith, different spiritual connection somehow that's going on because of this high priestess element coming in. Now, it could well be that it's literally just the fact that you're not both on the same page yet. It could well be that, you know, there are some other things in the background culturally, or again, from a religious perspective, that there are some hang-ups or some backups, or some, not backups, backlog here. There's something that's getting in the way, some stumbling blocks. But there's nothing here saying that the friendship's going to immediately end, or that you're immediately going to get into, or does that make sense? So all I would say, my darling, is if you're confident that both of you are interested and you want to make it work, then you'll find a way to make it work. And if you're confident that kind of he wants what you want, then again, you'll find a way of making that work. He lives in another country. Okay, I mean, that's a pretty big bloody hurdle, isn't it? That is a huge sword to deal with. That is a big old obstacle right there. But again, long-term relationships are a thing. You know, we have the internet now. We have FaceTime, chat snaps, and my face space, and talk the tick, talkity, bockety, tickety, scopity. There's lots of things. I'm acting like I don't know any of these things, obviously. But there's lots of ways to connect with people now online that weren't available 5-10 years ago. So it is possible and quite conceivable to have a long-term relationship, at least to start a relationship with a long distance now. But I think it's just going to take one of you to make that step and to see. What is it? What is the saying? There's a saying going through my head. Run it up the flagpole and see if he salutes. I don't think that's rude. It could be rude. It's not meant to be rude. But I think that's a genuine saying. So yeah, run it up his flagpole. I was about to say, run it up his flagpole and see if he salutes. But you know what I'm saying? Like, all you can do is put out there how you feel. And this camera is very wobbly today, isn't it? Look at this. Sorry. But all you can do is be truthful, put out there how you feel, how you feel, and be receptive to how he feels back. And with that, my darling, I am going to move on. And thank you very much for your question. Right, hopefully that helps, Candy Cat, Jules. I really hope it does. The list now has been closed temporarily. It might open a little bit later if we've got time. I've got 5 questions in. Smriti Mondal, if you're here, come and say hello in the live chat. No worries, my darling, no worries. No worries, Nanette. Go and check out Nanette's Necessities Witching Entertainment Hideout. Go and check out Nanette's channel. She does live streams talking about horror films, talking about witchy stuff, talking about all sorts of bits and pieces. If you like quite random live streams like the rest of us do. We're all just a bit nosy and we like poking around someone else's life. So if you like doing that, then I can recommend Nanette's live streams. She's ever so lovely. So yeah, go check Nanette out. Right, this is the second call for Smriti Mondal. Smriti Mondal, if you are here, come and say hello in the live stream. Smriti Mondal for the third and final time. If you are here, please come and say hello. Otherwise, we'll have to move on. Smriti Mondal, unfortunately, you've had your 3 call outs. Okay, bye. Right then, Queen of Sheba, you're next. Queen of Sheba, if you're here, come and say hello in the live chat. Queen of Sheba, come and say hello. This is why you need to hang on in the chat, everybody, because if we do get a few people that disappear off, hang on in there because you will suddenly find that you are coming up next on the list. So then, Queen of Sheba, if you're here, come and say hello. Queen of Sheba, you're here. Hello. I loved the X-Files for most of it until the last couple of seasons where it just got really weird and Mulder and Scully were separated a lot. I didn't like that bit, but yeah, I used to like the X-Files. Anyway, Queen of Sheba, your question, what do I need to know right now? Okie dokie, I'm going to hit my magic button. Oh, hang on, I didn't write down the last time, did I, on the other one? Right, 1:35. Queen of Sheba. Right, here we go, Queen of Sheba. This is your stinger. Okie dokie, let's have a look. So then, Queen of Sheba, dragons. Queen of Sheba would like to know. Queen of Sheba would like to know, what do they need to know right now? What does the Queen of Sheba need to know right now? Let's have a look. Oh, gosh. Cards are flying everywhere. That's my bad shuffling. It's because we're now an hour and a half in and my hands get tired. That's thanks to the fibromyalgia. But anyway, let's just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Let's have a look. So then, what does Queen of Sheba need to know right now? I don't know. Hopefully, Queen of Sheba needs to know how many likes we've got on this channel. How many likes? Are we at glorious levels yet? I think glorious level will be 25. I think that's when we hit 25 likes. I think that's when we officially become glorious. Yes. Let's have a look. Yes, I hope you're still here. I went through lots of different wrestling themes. I nearly added Kane's music, but I couldn't decide which version of it I wanted on the stream, but I might have to look at that again. Right then, Queen of Sheba, let's have a look at your drop. Let's have a look. Is it going to go? Where's it going to go? Is it going to go at all? There we go. Got your drop. So then, what does Queen of Sheba need to know right now? Wow. Okie dokie. Two major arcana cards coming up out of the 3, but they reversed. So in your past energy that gets you up to now, this is the Lovers, not a Lovers card. This is the Lovers. Now this is the Lovers on its other side. So this is a very interesting version of the Lovers. So this is saying that I think you may well, this could well be a relationship reading, because it's really talking about like that love energy that's past. Now I don't know whether you're in a relationship currently or whether you were in a relationship and you've moved on. I really don't know, but there is a distinct element here where it feels like if you are in a relationship again, it feels like that's changed quite significantly. If this is dealing with a past relationship, then I think it ended quite abruptly because we've got that reverse of the cards, and we've got this now. For me, we've got this is I always see this as the Star of David. However, in theory, it's supposed to be I think it's air and earth. I think it's air and earth elements. Again, I'm so bad with my symbology, remembering the symbolism. But it's basically the elements combining to create something. Oh gosh, my my back is really starting to ache. It's the elements combining to create this. But we've got this, like, there's a distinct cold snap here, a very distinct cold snap. Oh, hang on. You say you were in a relationship. After many months, I am finally moving forward and feeling okay. Right. Okie dokie. Thank you for that. Yeah, so this is all about that. This is all about that then. And I think it did end quite abruptly and quite coldly, because even though there's a fire here, like, this is a warm card. Like, this way round, it's warm, it's glowing, there's lovely sun energy. This way round, it's really cold. There's not even lunar energy to give it any warmth. Do you know what I mean? So it feels like it ended quite, yeah. In the present, we've got the Hierophant reversed. Now, the Hierophant, otherwise known as the High Priest, if I show it that way round, look, you can see that's how the card is often depicted. But this is the back. And again, we've got this element. We've got a mask just... No, we don't. We've got a... Sorry, wrong card. We've got... I was about to say, where's the bloody mask? We've got a an apple here, which has got symbolism connected. We've got a statue of a goddess. We've got a child that has the key of knowledge on their in their hand, and we've got this magical symbol here. Is it the Metatron? Yes, it is the Metatron. So this is the symbolism of the word of deity coming down. I believe. No, Metatronogram. No, Metagram. Hang on, I'll tell you exactly what it is, because it's written on the card. I just can't see it because I'm old, and I can't see it because it's dark. But anyway, you don't need to know about all of that. The Hierophant here is basically talking about not a breaking of the rules, but it's not breaking the rules. It's a willful ignorance of the rules. So whether this is down to the relationship or whether this is you, how you've had to move on, it really is a knowing, a willful disregard for what's expected. Does that make sense? Whether that's culturally or in religious grounds, it's literally like you are actively going against what you should, with bunny ears, be doing. Does that make sense? Because it really is this, like, the Hierophant is this really, like, this way round, it's this really dogmatic card. It's talking about, this is how things must be done because I said so. This is written in my scripture that I have written, and you will follow these rules, otherwise rah rah. But this is the reverse of that, and it's like saying you're basically going, I hear what you're saying, but no, I love it, you must do this. I once again, I hear what you are saying, but no thank you, no thank you. You can do that. I'm choosing to go a different route. And it's literally you kind of turning your back, literally turning your back on that dogmatic situation. Does that make sense? Hold on, I need to sneeze. Am I going to do it in time? Am I going to... Excuse me, everybody, I sneezed. But this is really you going in a very distinctly different direction than what everybody was expecting. Now, whether that's because of the relationship ending, or whether it's because you're deciding not to start a new one, or whether it's because you've just decided that actually all of these rules don't work for you. And it's a bit like, right, it's a bit like, I'll give you an example. I believe very firmly that if you are somewhere and there is a sign and it says, do not walk on the grass, right? I will take my shoes and socks off and I will walk on the grass, because that grass is going to be pristine. It's going to be lovely and soft, and it's not going to be trampled. There's not going to be any mud. And I know, even at my weight, I know I can walk on that grass and it's not going to do any harm. And I know this because everybody else will follow that rule, because everybody else needs to follow that rule. However, I know if everybody broke that rule, the grass would be ruined. But I also know that because that sign is there, the majority of people will stay off the grass. However, for me, I want to experience things and I want to feel what the earth feels like under my toes. And if there is a lovely patch of green grass that is not going to suffer any damage of me walking on it, I may just walk on it, just for shits and giggles. And it's that sort of energy that this card is giving. Now then, in the future coming up at the end of February onwards, we've got a challenge for you. But this is not a negative challenge. This isn't like, oh, everything's quite dark. No, this is a positive challenge. So it's something that I think you're going to learn from. We always learn from the challenges. We just can't see it at the time we're going through them. You've got the Ace of Swords. Now, Swords is challenges. Ace is a new project. So there's something new coming in the pipeline, coming down the pipeline. For the end of February, March onwards, so springtime, there's going to be some changes happening. I would say this is down to you going in a different direction, and it feels very much connected with whatever that relationship energy is lingering for. But yeah, it really does feel like the end of the month onwards, there's going to be a shift happening for you, and that challenge is going to be coming in. Hopefully that makes sense, my darling. Let's have a look at the live chat. You've definitely been challenging social norms and putting yourself and your needs first. Absolutely. Abso-friggin-lutely. Abso-friggin-lutely. Things got really bad really fast. Yeah, absolutely. I think they would have done. I really do. That ending is cold ending. 24 on yours, Patricia. Thank you. 24 likes. We just need one more like. Give us another like and then we'll be glorious. Thank you, Ed. I've got your question. Right then, who is bending the rules? Hopefully Queen of Sheba. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, hopefully that helps. I know, right? I do that all the time. I bend the rules. You've got to. Witches bend the rules. It's what we do. Right then, Priyankshi Gandhi, if you're here live, come and say hello. We've got 14 minutes left. I will try and get through the last couple of questions as soon as I can. Ed, I will do yours as a full 10 card, a full 1-to-1 at some point. Let me know when you are free. No worries, Queen of Sheba. Priyankshi Gandhi, I've got your question in. Let me load it up. And I'm going to do your swooshy time stamp. Can't speak today. Your swooshy time stamp right now. I did. I honestly, I'm clicking the buttons. I am. We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God! Priyankshi Gandhi. I'm just writing down your name. That's why it's wobbling. Right then, let's have a look. So then, dragons. Come on. There we go. Dragons. Priyankshi Gandhi would like to know, they need our guidance. They have a crush on a Hare Krishna. He seems to be a good person. He lost his father. He's kind and mature. Your parents want you to talk to him. Do you have a future with him? Let's have a look then. All the cards dropped then. All the cards dropped. Dragons, that doesn't help. I know, Wispy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 readings. I know you're getting tired, dragons, but come on. We've got a couple more if we can. Let's see what we can do for Priyankshi Gandhi. Let's have a look. So then, is Priyankshi Gandhi, do they have a future with the Hare Krishna? Let's have a look. Oh, we've had a card drop. Ooh. Okay, it's a challenge card. It's the 6 of Swords. Now, this is your modifier then. So this is the card that all of the other cards are going to be filtered through. So yes, there is a challenge here, but this is largely community based. So the fact that your family, your parents want you to talk to him, that could be what this is. This could be that push me, pull you kind of element where it almost feels like even if you don't want to talk to him, you kind of have to. Does that make sense? Because of that parental push. So then once we have a card that flips like that, once we have a modifying card, that's when we call time on the shuffling and we get our drop. Is that it? That's the drop. Okay, a very, very low drop today. 1, 2, and 3. Let's have a look. Right, remember, before I go any further, you make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, just bear that in mind. So then, in the past position, we have justice. So we have a legal facing card coming up in the past. Now, whether this is down to a legal issue or a legal challenge, there's definitely something here that you need to look at. Now, justice is always blind, so it could well be that he has a life before the Hare Krishnas. Most people do, and it could well be that there's elements here that you need to really get to know about the past energy before you are fully committed to something moving forward. It could also be your own past. It could also be something in your past where there is a legal element, or justice doesn't always need to be legal. It can mean like the wider scope of justice. So if there is something here to do with, you know, things, the difference between right and wrong, for instance, it's that sort of element of justice. So just be a little bit wary. Just be a little bit wary. We've got the challenge card coming up here. We've got justice coming up in the past energy. And then we've got the tower coming up in the present energy. Okay. They are Miss Happy Zen is next on the list, Holland. I've got them next. The present energy, we've got the tower reversed. Now look at the tower. The tower here has been hit and struck by lightning, but the tower is false. So you make all your decisions, right? You make all your own decisions. Before I say what I was going to say, I'll just tell you, in the future position, we've got the 5 of Pentacles again, but this side we've got it on this time we've got it on this side. So we've got the rich man in the church, if you like, but still with his head in his hand, still without anything. So he's not left outside alone. He's in the warm, but he's still alone. So putting these together, my absolute gut feeling is that there's something going on here that you are completely unaware of. Okay, the justice coming up in the past on its own wouldn't suggest legal until we get to the tower reversed. This tower reversed, this tower is hollow. It isn't what it appears to be on the surface. So there is something here that the cards are trying to impart. Okay, so this tower card, especially coming up with the 6 of Swords coming up overall and this community challenge. Again, let me show you this card as well, right? Because all of these cards have got this element where there is this hidden authentic self going on in the background. Look, so the 6 of Swords, right, that's a community challenge, but when we flip it around, the soldiers here that in the background here are, it's like a rallying cry. Here we can see these soldiers are blooded, their uniforms are damaged, they've been through wars, they are blooded, they are hurt, they are injured. But this side, it's like a conquering hero coming back, but actually he's not done the conquering, the people have. And there's something here behind the surface. Under the surface layer, the cards are trying to give you a warning here, right? The justice here is talking very firmly about some sort of legal matter that is still impacting where we are now. So there is still something, the energy of this legal matter is still infecting, it's still bubbling along where we are now. And where we are now, we have the reverse of the tower. This tower has been struck. The falsehood that the tower was hiding, this myth that the tower was creating, has been struck, and it's been revealed that this tower is an artifice, it's fake. and basically it isn't a complete tower, it's just a shell. What is going on inside? Why was that tower built? It's built to make people think it's something that it isn't. Okay, and then we get to this future energy card of the 5 of Pentacles, which is even when the rich person is here in this golden glowy church, they still haven't got a happy heart. They've got everything materially, but they aren't able to connect that spiritually. So there is something going on here. It doesn't feel as if everything you've said about this person is true. Either that would be for one of 2 reasons, right? Priyanshi, and only you will know. Either the question itself is a lie, or the person the question about is somehow lying. So if you've made this question up because you just wanted a reading, then fine, the cards are calling you out on it. If, however, you are genuinely in this position, then genuinely there's something going on in the background that you're not aware of. He's very rich. Hare Krishnas aren't very rich. Hare Krishnas are not very rich. They're not. Like, that's the whole point of being a Hare Krishna. Hare Krishnas are not rich. They are effectively monks. They support the poor and they feed people. They're not wealthy. They're not, you know, they're not poor, but they're not very rich. So there's something here that isn't true. Either your question is a lie, because you're literally asking, I have a crush on Hare Krishna. Now, if you're trying to test me and my tarot abilities, then the cards are calling you out on it. If you genuinely believe that Hare Krishna is his real name, then again, there's a question mark here, because I am not the most worldly wise of people, and yet I can see that there's something here that doesn't sound true, and especially when we've got these cards coming up. But you're the only person that will know that, and you are the only person that can answer that question. So for that, my darling, I'm going to say, if this is a genuine question and he's a genuine person and you're genuinely asking, then you need to look at this, because there's a lot of falsehoods here that don't ring true. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you very much for your question. I hope it's helped in whatever means it was that you were asking. I really do hope it helped. And with that, my darling, I'm going to wish you nothing but the very best and say thank you very much for your question. Right then, the last question we're going to be able to get to today is Miss Happy Zen. Miss Happy Zen, if you're here, let me come and say hello in the live chat. That's up for you. That's for you to believe. That's for you to believe, Priyanshi. That's for you to believe. It's up to you. The cards here are very, very, very seriously saying there's a lot of deception here. A lot of deception. I would be very careful and double check everything. If this person is a genuine person and you're not just trying to ask a bullshitting question, then absolutely check this person out, because there's a lot here that isn't ringing true for the cards and for me personally as I'm reading them. And with that, my darling, I would leave you with that and just say, seriously, check this person out. Check this person out. Cross your I's and dot your T's, or the other way around. Right, Miss Happy Zen, let's have a look at your question. We're going to get straight to your reading right about now. Okay, dragons. Miss Happy Zen would like to know, they have been feeling quite low and I'm just wondering what, oh gosh, just wondering what we see happening. Right then, so let's have a look then, dragons. Miss Happy Zen wants to know what we see happening in the next few weeks. Right, let's have a look at this. Ed, drop me a message when you are free to do a live. I'll get you on here. And it won't be streamed, but it will be recorded and then I can send you it as well. Drop me a message on Instagram probably, or Facebook, whichever way, or even just drop me a text. Right then. Nothing dropping. Oh! As I say, there's nothing dropping. A card drops. And it is the Ace of Pentacles. So, money, career, work, money, career coming up. This is what's overarching at the moment. This is your clarifying card. Let's have a little look-see. It's dribbling down. It's dribbling down. There we go. We got there. Right then, let's have a look. So, oh, I didn't write down the time. 1:57 on that one. Right. Miss Happy Zen. Fabulous. Right. So we've got, okay, in the past, we've got, this will be why you've been feeling down. We've got the Two of Swords. Now, do you remember earlier on when I was talking about the Queen, no, the High Priestess, and she was sat between those two, flames, the red flame and the blue flame. If you look again, apologies for the camera settings because I had to unplug it and move it. These two swords, one is blue and one is red. It's that same energy that the High Priestess has. Now this is the challenge card and it's the two. So the two here is talking about maybe a partnership that ended, a friendship or a relationship that ended. Could even be a family member that you had a falling out with. But there's something here in the past where you've had this challenge and you've had this this difficulty, basically. It could well also be to do with finances because we've got that Ace of Pentacles coming up as your clarifier. Now, if you can take that that's what's been making you feel quite low, maybe a lack of finances or this falling out with somebody, then like the only thing I would say with that is that there's one of the aspects of this card is that they're blindfolded, right? So the woman here is blindfolded. So there's an element here, Nanette, there's an element here saying that basically there's something that you're not seeing, something that is still eluding you, or that was at the time. So whether the arguments or this disagreement came through something that you'd done and not seen that it was being taken the wrong way, or whether this was something that was brewing and then they reacted, they snapped. It's something along those lines. Does that make sense? So it really does feel like they've, hang on, I'm getting distracted by everybody saying goodbye to Nanette. Bye, Nanette. I'm not saying yeah, everyone's saying bye to Nanette, but it keeps flipping up in my chat. So I think there's definitely some sort of falling out. That's where money was either the cause of it, or I just think money was the cause. So it could be something really stupid, like you went out for dinner and you were splitting the bill, and actually, you know, like they don't think you should have split it the way it was split, or whatever it is. There's something, it feels like it was something of nothing that you didn't see coming because of that blindfold. In the present, I think you've where you say you're just feeling quite low, I think you're actually recovering from this. And I think you've put yourself together quite nicely because we've got the Queen of Wands here. Now, Wands for me is security, is confidence, how you know yourself. And the Queen of Wands is quite, you know, she's not, what is it? Not shy in stepping forward, not backwards in stepping forward. She knows what she wants out of life. She knows how to get it. She's quite a confident person. She's quite an out there person, not necessarily extrovert, but very much like she knows herself. She's sure of herself. And I think that this is what you've learned from this Two of Swords energy. It's like whether you've repaired that relationship, I don't think you probably have, but you've grown from the way that it ended and what that relationship taught you about people and trust. You've actually come out the other side in a very different way, in a very a much stronger way, but that strength has come through that experience, if that makes sense. It's like, how can I put it? Looking back, it's like you wouldn't necessarily, now you wouldn't change what happened, because you've gone through it, you've come out the other side a new person, or not a new person, because we don't come out a new person, we come out a changed person. So you've come out the other side a more confident version of you, but you had to go through that Two of Swords clash to get there. Does that make sense? You literally had to come through that experience to learn those lessons that have created this more confident version. But we do have a little bit of inner knowledge coming up that you need to gain. Okay, the reason I'm saying that, one second, sorry, the pop is really repeating on me at the moment. The reason I'm saying that is that the energy we've got to come end of the month into March, early spring, if you're in the northern hemisphere, in the southern hemisphere it would be early autumn, we've got the Hermit. Now the Hermit doesn't mean that you are going to be an isolationist and you're going to lock yourself away in a cave. It's talking more about giving yourself some time to look within, look inward, and to realize the lessons that have got you, and it's gaining you this confidence. Because I think the confidence is there. You might not see it yourself right now. You might be sitting there saying, Lisa, you're completely wrong. I haven't got any idea. I'm not more confident. But the lessons have been learned. You've just got to put them into action. It's like if this was a hot I've still got coffee now. I didn't think I did. If this was a hot cup of coffee, right, and you were holding it, if you went, ow, you now know putting your finger in a boiling hot cup of coffee is going to hurt, right? I'm not talking as an adult, I'm talking as a child. You know that's going to hurt. However, that lesson will stay with you for the rest of your life. You're probably never going to go, oh, I've just made a boiling hot cup of coffee. I know, I'll stick my finger in it and see whether it's hot. Oh, yes, that is scalding hot. And now my finger is all blistered. You're not going to do that, right? But looking back, when you were a child and you learned for the very first time what hot actually meant in terms of hot scalding water, that lesson has been learned and you've been able to apply that in practice. Maybe not initially, maybe it took a few attempts, but you've learned that lesson, you've been able to apply it moving forward. And that's where this Queen of Wands is coming from. That confidence is there. That lesson of trust and that lesson of distrust is there. You just need to apply it, particularly, again, if we're talking about money and finances or workplace. What I would say with this Hermit card, again, this is about taking the time to look after yourself and to let that Queen of Wands energy manifest. Let that actually become your true essence. Let that become your authentic self. And it might not feel authentic at the moment. If it's that thing, isn't it, where, you know, they say to look in the mirror and tell yourself you love you, right? I have some affirmations that I've been using since I was like 17, and I can tell you what they are. I love and approve of myself. Everything I need comes to me. Everything I need to know is revealed to me at the correct time. All is well in my life. Right? Those have been on repeat in my brain for nearly 30 years at this point, right? And that is my affirmations. And I believe it very firmly at this point. I do love and approve of myself. I think I'm a pretty decent person. Everything I need comes to me. Yep, everything I need. Not everything I want, but everything I need. Everything I need to know is revealed to me at the correct time. Again, I believe that very firmly. Some things I need to know and I want to know right now, it's not the right time. I'm not going to get that knowledge. I have experienced a hell of a lot in my life, and I've come to where I am right now through all of those lessons, through learning those lessons at the right time. All is well in my life. That's not necessarily going to be true every single day, but overall, when I look back at the last 46 years that I've been on this planet, all is well. And that stays with me. And again, this is you finding out, this Hermit card is you finding out those nuggets of knowledge that you can take forward. Now, again, the one thing I would say with all of this is that you have this new energy that's around you at the moment. And this new energy is all about this new project, either to do with work all to do with your finances, getting your finances sorted, moving your finances into a better position. And that overall, there's nothing here saying that if you do X, Y, Z, you're going to be a millionaire. It's not about that, but it's about moving your finances into a more stable position as you move forward. And I think that's going to be where this Hermit card comes in as well, because whatever this lesson is, I think it's already been learned. You just need to start applying it. Hopefully, Miss Happy Zen, that helps. Let me jump back onto the chat. Wow. Oh my God, you're truly gifted. Thank you. No worries, Ed. You're just feeling very lonely. Okay. Tomorrow evening, Ed, I can do. He took it the wrong way. Your phone died. Genuinely had problems with it. He took it the wrong way, thinking you blocked him. Okay, so true, because you generally didn't do anything wrong, and this was one of your friends, right? As Patricia says there, look, a caterpillar needs to change to become a butterfly. You won't spend a lot of, I want to spend a lot on my body, mind and soul, and growing as a person. I'm always there for people. Sometimes I feel I'm not sure which way you're going. Okay, my darling, trust yourself, as Patricia says there, look, trust yourself. That Hermit card that comes up in the future is talking about this. It's talking about you finding that inner self, no, it's that way around, sorry. Finding that inner self, going on a bit of a journey. So whether that is a meditation journey, whether that is going, like literally going off on a retreat, you don't need to do all of that. It's just talking about looking within rather than looking without. Okay, so the answer isn't out there. The answer isn't with your friend. The answer isn't with your parents, with your family, with your community. The answer is with you. You have the answer. It sounds like a bloody children's cartoon series from the 80s, don't I? You have the answer. Only you, Captain Planet. But it is really true. You just need to find the thing within you, the truth, the authentic self, that authentic voice. It's there because you've got that Queen of Wands. You've got that there now. It's there already. You just need to find it. And that journey is what I see coming for you this spring. So as I say, end of the month into March, think about what I'm saying. Think about the fact that this Hermit energy is coming through. And it's not about you going away for a long time. It's just about looking within and taking some space, taking some time to listen to that inner voice, listen to that internal Queen of Wands, listen to what she's trying to tell you. What would you tell your younger self? What would yourself in 5 years want to tell you now? Listen to that advice. Listen to what your own heart, your own mind, your own spirit is telling you. What is important in your life? What are the authentic things that make you whole as a person? Listen to that and then take that with you and move forward. And that is what is going to keep you in the best way throughout your life. Live authentically, right? I know we live in a social media age. I'm part of that on the YouTubes, right? But this is literally, this is how I am outside of YouTube. This is how I am. People on this live know me in person. They've known me in person for years, and this is how I am, right? I'm no different. I live my best life. I live my authentic life, and I wouldn't change it. Yeah, I'm skint all the time. I never have money. I'm forgetful. My ADHD is atrocious. My fibromyalgia means that sometimes I'm in constant pain. All of that is true. However, I'm living authentically, and I would not give that up for the entire universe. And you need to be able to find the same. All of us on this planet need to be able to say the same thing, that we are living our best authentic lives. We are living for what gives us purpose and what makes our soul smile. And once we find that, and once we're able to do that, then you will be, your Queen of Wands card will come glowing through, my darling. That essence of you, that authentic self will come glowing from without, from within, from all around, and everybody around you will see that. And that is where your journey is headed, trust me, because you've got that Queen of Wands now. And if your friend, whatever happened with your friend, right, if they can't see that, they are going to watch you shine from afar, and they are going to miss out on an incredibly special human being, because you are an incredibly special human being, and your friend is going to miss out on that entire journey. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you very, very much for your question. I'm really glad I got to you today, and I'm really glad that I extended tonight's stream to get that reading in, because I really feel that it's something that you absolutely need to hear right now. Because trust me, the cards aren't wrong. The cards aren't wrong. Like the Queen of Wands energy, it's pretty good energy. It's not quite the Empress, but it's pretty good energy. And with that, I'm going to say thank you very much for your question. Right then, that's it, everybody. Thank you so, so much for joining me tonight. Thank you very, very much. Okay, thank you for joining me on the stream. I've had a really good evening, actually. Did we get to the glorious figure, by the way? Did we get to 25 thumbsy uppies? I don't know. Let me have a look. Am I still on the line? No, I'm not. According to my back end, that sounds so wrong, I'm still at 995. Let me just have a look on the subs. 998. See, we've dropped subscribers. We've dropped subscribers. If I click on this, am I going to be able to see my own sub count? Like count? Oh, we're still at 24. Hang on. I haven't liked it yet. 25! Till I'm victorious. I will defend. I will defend. Glorious. Go again. Glorious. Yay! We got to 25. 26 now. Yay! Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Thank you for all the likes, the thumbsy uppies. Yay! Thank you, everybody. I have had a really good evening tonight. And with that last reading, I think there's such positive vibes. I think that's absolutely beautiful. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget, please do, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. No, hit that, ding that bell. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't believe we got to 26. Woohoo! Hit your thumbs up now. Hit the thumbs up and the subscribe. And if you're watching this on the replay, do make sure you ding your bell so that YouTube notifies you each and every time I upload a video. Don't forget, you can always go across to buymeacoffee.com/beyondauthentic, where you can in fact buy me a coffee. That's also where you can join our channel memberships. Come and be part of the pre-live stream. Yes. Before we go live at 7 o'clock on this channel, we've got our own Coffee Club Crew channel where we go live at 6 for a whole hour. Tonight, what was it tonight? Tonight it was a horse mask. Here we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. It didn't look like that. If you want to see how horrendous the mask was, check it out. And all you need to do is go over to that channel and the links are still there. Don't forget, if you would like a private reading that isn't on the interwebs, you go over to here. Fiverr.com/beyondauthentic. The Iron Authentic is a 1. The number 1, that will be changing at some point, but at the moment it's still a 1. You can get a private reading there quite happily, and yeah, go over there and do those things. Don't forget, I will be back on Tuesday evening. I forgot what day it was today. I'll be back on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. UK time for more free tarot readings, and between now and Tuesday, hopefully I will get a video out on this channel starting to look at the tarot cards and what the cards actually mean. We're starting with the major arcana, might go through the minors afterwards. I'm not quite sure yet, but we're definitely going to start with the major arcana. But with all of that being said, thank you so, so much for the wonderful, amazing, the wonderful mods on this channel that keep it going on. They deserve a... They deserve all the air horns. And with that, everybody, I am going to say thank you so, so much for joining. I hope you've had a good evening. I've had a wonderful time tonight, and I will see you very, 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 very soon. And as we always say on this channel, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I'll definitely see you next.